And speaking of throwing strikes, I think that's one of the Camping World keys as well, and we'll kind of segue that into Coach Sechrist and our coaches' comments brought to you by the locker room, is that they at Snow Canyon absolutely hate walks. They will throw a fastball and give up a hit before they'll give up a walk. And I think that that was one of the problems with Eichelberger yesterday, and one of the problems with a couple of pitchers this year, and why maybe they haven't seen more innings. If you walk guys, you're not going to get on the mound for Snow Canyon very often, and that's kind of how things have turned out for them. Joey Lambeth will lead things off for Canyon View. Appreciate you joining us again for our pregame show, brought to you by Poncho and Lefties. We'll be talking about our scoreboard all day with One Law, great sponsor for us all through the sports seasons. And foul balls by Fabulous Freddy's, timeouts by Hank's Riverwalk Grill. But right now it's time for baseball as Matt Kitchen and Joey Lambeth square off. And the first pitch by Kitchen right there on the inside for strike one.
Good start for him. I mean, you want to go out, you want to get off to a strong start. You mentioned throwing strikes. Next time he comes up there, it's a little bit up out of the zone. So give him a little while to kind of settle in. 1-1 count on Lambeth.
This one a fastball. Sounds a little high for ball two. 2-1 count. Lambeth on the regular season, guy who hit very well. Like 342 on the year with 25 hits, and he pokes that one to the right side. Could be trouble in no man's land in right field, but the right fielder runs it down. That's Braden Baker with the good speed and the first out of the game.
Got a pretty good jump on it from in there. I don't know if he was going to get there, but then he kind of eased up. You thought, okay, he's got it in his side. So got him 1 up, 1 down.
Some teams, we were talking about this, Mike, in pregame. Some teams move their lineups around a lot. They've got their platooning guys at different positions and stuff. And Snow Canyon is not one of those teams. The first 5 or 6 guys in their lineup, as that one tails outside on Colton Gotchis. First 5 or 6 guys are the same guys every single game. Gotchis golfs that one into left field. That is a fair ball inside the line. And Gotchis takes a big turn, but then slams on the brakes, so it'll be a loud single for Colton Gotchis in the first base runner of the game.
Yeah, he went after that fairly quickly, and he got around a pretty good bat speed, was able to pull it down that left field line, probably hit, 3 or 4 feet inside the foul line.
The Falcons yesterday trailed 4-0 for much of the game, and then put up 8 runs in 1 inning. I think it was the bottom of the 6th, and turned that entire game around. Gotchis had a triple in that rally for a couple of runs as the first pitch from Kitchen to Clark is high for a ball.
Senior Caden Clark at the plate right now for these two teams that used to be in the same region and will be soon again.
Clark is the #1 average hitter on this team, 464 on the year with 32 base hits. He has 1 home run, and he takes a strike there to even the count.
Yeah, good pitch, kind of knee-high on the outside part of the plate for the strike.
A great knee-high.
You watch way too much MASH, I can tell.
And he lines one into left field in the hole between short and third. Diving effort over there by Steven Gubler, but no chance to get that one. And runners at first and second now with 1 out. And so far, it seems like they're seeing the ball pretty well off of Kitchen.
They really are. They're swinging the bat pretty good. In fact, all 3 batters, Lambeth, Gotchis, and Clark, hit the ball 1 up in the air. The other 2 are pretty good sharp singles into left field.
Coming to the plate for the Falcons is McCrae Webster. Again, this team was shut out a week ago, 6 days ago by Snow Canyon, 18-0. And in studying the box score and the play-by-play on that, Mike, they really didn't have much of any scoring threats even. Well, here we are with 1 out in the first inning. They've got 2 on, and a pretty good hitter up in Webster as he takes the ball.
Yeah, not wasting much time on those at all.
Kitchen checks the runner at second and delivers, and the ball is high, and it's 2-0 to McCrae Webster. Webster on the year, 353, 1 double, 1 triple, 2 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. Coach Jacobson for Canyon View is relatively aggressive on the bases. I don't see, this is not really a steal situation here or a hit and run, but pretty aggressive. And Kitchen gets a called strike on the inside edge. Boy, that one was up around the letters and inside, but umpire said that's close enough to make it a 2-1 count.
So again, a fly out started the game, and back-to-back singles. Runners at first and second with a single out. We're in the top of inning number 1 here this morning.
Kitchen with the delivery at the knees this time, and that is ball 3. So Kitchen on the verge of loading him up here. And again, remember what I said about Wally Ritchie, the pitching coach, and Coach Sechrist. They would rather throw a 3-1 fastball and let the guy hit it than give up a walk. Doesn't matter, though, because Kitchen missed a 1.5 feet high.
Yeah, he took something off. Looked like he was trying to get his off-speed curve, but it stayed way up out of the zone. So that loads him up here early against the Snow Canyon Warriors.
Catcher Joey McElprang will come to the plate. And for Joey on the year, he's got a .419 batting average. Now, these numbers are, I would call them somewhat inflated. They played in a very weak Region 12. Imagine playing Carbon and Richfield 3 times each.
That helps the stats a little bit, but you still have to swing the bat, and you still have to hit the baseball as that pitch up high.
McElprang looks at ball 1, and why would he swing with the bases loaded and Kitchen struggling to throw strikes? Coach taking a risk, taking a gamble, starting Kitchen instead of one of his either Jensen or Sechrist. And this one is hit to center, but very playable. Rigby over there, but Baker steps in front. This should get the run home, and it is a sac fly for Joey McElprang. And Canyon View takes a 1-0 lead, something they didn't have last Saturday against the Warriors.
Yeah, not a bad job. He got it up in the air, and it was deep enough that it did get the run in. And so also from second to third goes Clark. So now you have 2 down, still runners at the corners.
And it's interesting, the cutoff man did not throw home. Actually, he wanted to throw home. The catcher, though, had stepped in front of the plate and stood up and just conceded the run. Yeah. I thought maybe they might have had a close play on that one, Mike, but throw never came.
No. He took the ball, you're right, and he actually turned and looked at third as if he was expecting to hopefully have a play to pick him off there. Didn't happen. That first pitch, though, was up high for a ball.
Trace Harden takes strike 1 now. 1-1 for the right fielder from Canyon View. Harden on the year with a .371 average, 7 doubles. That's some power. And he goes the other way with that one, but it's well foul. And now he's in a 1-2 hole.
So, boy, I tell you, sometimes you can get through. If you can get through the first inning, it kind of gets you set a little bit. But right now, Canyon View taking advantage of a little bit of wildness. That pitch
1-2 pitch just misses. Canyon View or Snow Canyon fans thought that was strike 3, but the umpire, like a statue, didn't move. The count is 2-2. 2 on. Runners at the corners, 1 in for Canyon View. Harden at the plate, grounds it to second. Up with it. No, right through his glove, and there's one of those Camping World keys of the game Mike was talking about. You got to play defense, and that's the sophomore Brock Sechrist. Is that right, Brock?
Yeah.
Who booted that one, and another run comes in as Caden Clark crosses the plate.
Again, it's hard to point, but then everybody saw it. He went out. He was in perfect position, just didn't get the glove clear to the ground.
You know what it looked like to me, Mike? Just kind of going over that play the replay in my head. We don't have actual replay right now, but it looked like he looked up just for a second to check where the runners were. And with 2 outs, he didn't need to do that. He could have just gone to first, but it looked like he looked up for just a second, and that's what cost him. 1-0 count now to the batter, Ecker. And make it 2-0 now to Ecker. Boy, I think Kitchen probably at this point, hey, I'm out of the inning. All right, I got a ground ball, number 3, I'm done, and now you got to do it again. 2-0 count. Called strike 1.
Good pitch by Kitchen that time. Took a little bit off of it, but he did get it over the plate. And watching it all the way was Ecker.
And that one just misses high, so the count goes to 3 balls and a strike on Logan Ecker. Ecker plays first base for Canyon View with 2 men on. The pitch, not close, ball 4. Looked like a changeup on that one, but out of the strike zone.
Yeah, definitely struggling right now. In fact, out comes the pitching coach of Snow Canyon. You really have to have a bit of a short leash at this point. I mean, a loss, you're done. Season is over. It's a long way to go, and you don't want to pull kids early. because of the pitch count rules and things.
Yeah,
now.
it's a complicated thing, isn't it?
Yep.
You got to plan for tomorrow, but there may not be a tomorrow. And I guess we all live life that way, but it's magnified here as the bases are loaded now. Wally Ritchie gets done talking with Matt Kitchen. And again, I can tell you this about Wally and about Reed Sechrist. They hate walks more than any. They would rather give up occasionally a home run than a lot of walks, and it just drives them nuts. And that is walk number 2 in the inning, surrounded by a couple of base hits and an error. Canyon View up 2-0. The batter now is Tyrell Robinson. He's the center fielder, speedster, and he fouls one off to the left side up on that big green hill, or berm, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Robinson going opposite field there. He is a left-handed batter.
He had a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs in that comeback win yesterday for Canyon View, and he takes the ball there.
Ball and a strike now on Robinson.
Again, they were down 4-0 most of the game yesterday in that come from behind victory. They also beat Bear River earlier in the day, and there's ball 2 now, as Kitchen can't even get the fastball in for a strike now.
Yeah, critical time right now, I think, for the Warriors. We're already down 2-0. The pond is full of ducks right now. Bases loaded, got to get it done. And he's missing way outside again.
Ball 3, 3-1, a walk's a run. And that would bring up the 9th hitter of the inning if he can't throw a strike here. Kitchen has thrown 12 innings this year, an ERA just over 4. And there's ball 4, and it's now 3-0, an RBI walk for Tyrell Robinson. Don't hear that very often, RBI walk.
Well, the situation is about as bad for the Warriors right now as you could imagine. They're walking them in. We're in the top of the first inning, and the Falcons already put 3 across the plate, and they're still loaded.
Go to the number 9 hitter, and he takes a ball inside. That's Smith, Dallin Smith, the third baseman. And the 1-0 count by Kitchen. Struggling.
Yeah.
And there's a called strike at the waist to even the count at 1-1. Looked like he aimed that one even.
Yeah.
And the batter was taken all the way.
Well, you hadn't thrown a strike in about 5 or 6 pitches, so you're right. I think he did take that one. There's an off speed that tails away.
Boy, Smith went about halfway around. I think he did check his swing in time, but usually when a batter goes that way far around, it's going to be close. And umpire says, nope, ball 2. So 2-1 to a 195 hitter. And Smith swings and misses at that one. The count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Guess he figured I might as well swing now. Looks like he might throw a strike or 2. But he missed that one badly.
And you got Deuces Wild across the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the first.
And the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. That'll retire the side. But Canyon View comes up with 3 runs. Only one of those earned. And the Falcons, who lost 18-0 a week ago, have a 3-0 lead on Snow Canyon on our one-loss scoreboard. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Brent Brown Ballpark, Orem, Utah. What a busy area this has been in high school sports in the last few days. We saw Wednesday and Thursday, Desert Hills win their 8th straight girls golf championship, and Tori Thomas wins the individual medalist in a playoff hole with Gracie Richards, the defending champion, and Lexi Hamill of Snow Canyon. So an all Region 9 playoff in girls golf. There's also been softball actually going on right now. In fact, Cedar is the only Region 9 team left, but they're playing Juab right now. Had an early lead, but they trail right now. And track and field starts today and tomorrow, and they have all 5 classifications involved in that. And I don't know if you've probably never been to that event, Mike, there at Robinson Stadium. No. It is crazy. I mean, you think about all the track and field athletes that each team has. We're talking maybe 20 girls and 20 boys on each team, and all 5 classifications. So basically every school in the state of Utah is there that had guys qualify, and it is a crazy but fun event.
And then add in the fact they've torn up half the streets in Provo and Orem.
True.
Holy smokes. Just trying to get around here is, I'll say exciting. That's a misnomer there.
McKinnis on the mound, and Jamison Day takes the first pitch for a ball. The second one now in there for a strike. Jamison Day, a .423 hitter this season. 12 stolen bases. He's got really not much power. He one double is all season long, but he does hit the ball hard up the middle. That one's right up the middle. Shortstop is up with it. Speedy Day, though, is in there in time. That was a slow roller at the feet of the pitcher. Got past him. The shortstop really did a nice job. That's Clark of picking it up and throwing it over, Mike, but Day's just too fast.
He got great speed down the line, and I think the key there, you said slow roller. It was not going too fast, which gave Day just that little extra step, and he legged it out.
And Davis Rigby to the plate. Rigby had a fantastic weekend last weekend in their 2 wins, but didn't hit the ball real well yesterday. Nobody did against Tyson Fisher. Rigby
did get 1 hit yesterday in that game.
He's got some power.
Yep.
They throw over to first, aware that Day's probably going to be pretty fast. Rigby with 19 hits on the season in the regular season, 3 doubles and a triple, has yet to go yard. He definitely has the power, though, down the line here at the Triple B. That one misses away after the check at first. And the count now 2-0 on Davis Rigby with Day at first and the always incredibly dangerous Austin Deming on deck.
Yeah, and we know that Coach Sechrist and the Warriors will take an opportunity if it's given to them. I'm talking about running, stealing.
Rigby punches that to shallow center. The shortstop Clark back with it and makes the catch. Just a little flare, and the shortstop, he got a great jump on it. Caught it about 10 or 15 feet into the grass, and that's out number 1.
That's one of my favorite catches to watch because when it's made. But, because
like football,
he got a great jump. He's going away. All the action is behind him, and he's looking kind of up in the air back over his shoulder. Good job to get out there and made it an easy catch. 1
down, 1 on for Deming, and, the question has come up, why would you ever pitch to Austin Deming, no matter who's hitting behind him? But I'll tell you, it's hard. In high school, you don't like to give up intentional walks. We have not seen many this year, but Deming with 9 doubles and 8 home runs this year, tied for the best in Region 9. He slugs over 1,000. That's phenomenal.
And you can tell they're pitching a little careful to him right now.
Yeah, they did check over to first, but Dave was back. Pretty good lead, though. Had to dive back in. Now a 1-0 count to Deming. Austin Deming, senior. I believe. Is he a junior or senior, Mike? I want to say junior now that I think again.
Double checking here on list. He is a junior. You're right.
Yeah. So the two big power hitters in the region, Deming and Tyson Fisher, both juniors. The leading hitter in the region, Hobbs Nyberg, is also a junior.
Yep.
Hit and run on the play. Deming is going. The throw bounces in, and Day had it stolen anyway, even with a really good throw. And that's stolen base number 13 on the year for Jamison Day.
Interesting that time. It might have been a hit and run, but Deming just let it go. It was called strike, so he's now up in the count 2-1, but it was an easy steal.
Well, either missed the call or maybe he saw his guy had it stolen and decided to go ahead and take a strike.
Yep.
2-1 count. And that ball misses way outside. So they're kind of, you're right, Mike, pitching a little bit around Deming.
Yep. Which I would too, I think.
Well, and one of the problems of stealing ahead of Deming is that does leave first base open. So, you don't mind walking him because that creates a force situation.
Right.
Now the 3-1. And McKinnis way outside on a curveball that curved way too much. And that's a base on balls for Austin Deming.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Did you take the bat out of his hand? Maybe. But the fact is, the Warriors now, theoretically, the tying run is at the plate. You got 2 guys on, 1 down. We're still in the first inning of action.
So 2 on. Batter is Cannon Sechrist. Sechrist hitting in the mid-200s on the year. Boy, a little inside-out fastball. Nice pitch by McInnes for strike 1. Baker is on deck with 1 out. You figure you'd probably see him unless Sechrist gets into a double play.
Yep.
McInnes not really looking at the runners, and there's that slider, and that one a little bit low to the 6'3" Cannon Sechrist.
The body language said McInnes didn't think it was a little bit low. He thought he had that strike, kind of jumping up and down.
1-1 count. And that one in the dirt. Good block by McElprang, the catcher. The count goes to 2 balls and a strike.
There's some really good catchers around the state. It's been fun watching them. Very active behind the dish. And for the most part, they're getting out in front, knocking the ball down.
Sechrist lines it to the right side. Ole says the first baseman. That's going to be a hit anyway. Sechrist will round first. 1 run will come in. Let's see if they send Deming.
Yeah.
They are. Austin Deming will cruise on in. Sechrist headed for third, and he'll have a stand-up triple. It's 3-2. What a shot by Cannon Sechrist.
Wow, a rocket. And the first baseman had what? A 1/10 of a second to make it.
Yeah.
And he just kind of got the glove out, couldn't come up with it. And there you have it, a huge hit. And the Warriors say we're right back in it.
Well, you know, the quick reaction of Eckert to even move, because you and I wouldn't have moved.
No.
Ball would have been past us. But just like that, it's a 3-2 game, and I'm sure Canyon View's got to be thinking to themselves, we've seen this story before. First pitch is popped up by Baker to shallow right field. Sechrist tags, but way too shallow for him to think about coming home on that one. So 2 outs, and Canyon View right now with the lead intact with 2 down.
So, again, you think back to that walk. Did you take the bat out of his hand? Well, that's Deming. Well, it wasn't too bad a deal because Sechrist came up with the big hit. But now, 2 downs, and the Warriors would love nothing more than make it at least even in this first inning.
Zach Nowatzki at the plate. Nowatzki is an interesting guy this year. I've done, maybe 10 or at least attended 10 or 12 or 14 Snow Canyon games throughout the season. There have been times where Nowatzki, when he was going through a slump, and boy, he took that pitch over the head, had to duck to get out of the way of it, on a 2-0 count now. There were times where he looked lost up at the plate, quite frankly. He was going through a slump, and he couldn't get arrested in baseball. And then lately, he has found the baseball, and he's hitting it hard. And he hits that one hard, but foul to the right side for a 2-1 count.
See, now that last pitch at Nowatzki, I could have moved on that one because it would have been my life flashing before my eyes. He was ducking to get out of the way. That was actually behind his head where it ended up.
All the streakiness has him hitting about 280 this year. He hit his first home run of the season last week, and he hit that one hard to left center. That is going to be tracked down by Clark, the shortstop. There's your man, Mike Clark, with a great jump on that one. Looked like a base hit off the bat, but Clark was all over it, and that'll retire the side. But Snow Canyon gets a couple of big hits, and they pull within 3-2 after 1 complete on our 1-loss scoreboard. Back here at the Triple B Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, for the 3A state tournament. This is an elimination game. Snow Canyon and Canyon View, two, like Mike said a minute ago, two former Region 9 rivals and two future Region 9 rivals, as Canyon View will rejoin Region 9 next year, which becomes a 4A region with a new alignment and reclassification. And it's going to be kind of fun and interesting to watch. Gone is the 3AA in football, Mike. Thank goodness.
Yeah, amen. It's going to be kind of interesting, too, because the next year, then you add in a new high school to that mix in Crimson High.
Liner down the line, but foul by Lambeth. Now he's in an 0-2 hole. Lambeth led off this game by flying out to right field. Pretty good jump by Baker, took care of him. He was the first out, and then they had a whole bunch of guys get on with singles and walks after that and scored 3 runs.
Yeah, ended up the Falcon did with 2 hits and 3 walks in that inning. That gave them their 3 runs.
Well, the Dixie coaches and fans down here watching their fellow Region 9 team play. Ground ball left side. Gubler up with it across the diamond. Got the tag in. The throw was high, but he whipped the tag down and got him on the shoulder.
Now they're asking each other.
I think he was out. Looked like he got him on the shoulder before he hit the bag, and the home plate ump says, I don't know.
And it should be the base ump's call.
They're going to call him safe. From our angle, Mike, we had a great angle. You could see him tap the shoulder before he put the foot down, but the umpire is going to disagree with that one. And so that'll be an E5. Second error of the game on Snow Canyon.
Yeah, the throw was definitely high, and it did take the first baseman to come off the bag and got it. But as you said, it looked like he was able to grab and then swing back and tag before he got to the base, but apparently not.
Colton Gotches will come to the plate now. Gotches had the first hit of the game, ended up scoring a run. He lined that one down the left field line.
Right.
He'll come up with 1 on, nobody out here in the second off Kitchen. And big old swing and a miss as Kitchen changed speeds on him.
I like that. That's one of the better pitches, I think, by Kitchen. He really had that moving across and off the part of the plate. Gotches went fishing.
He was, and he went around on out, so 0-2. Gotches was 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. He was just having a horrible game in that come-from-behind victory by Canyon View. And then he gets a 2-run triple in the big rally, and that's where they came back and got that victory and stayed alive. A foul ball that time by Gotch's. Count remains 0-2.
Protecting the plate, kind of reached out, slapped at the ball, but he got enough of it to stay alive. And Andy's now going to sing the song by the Bee Gees.
Oh no, I can't go up where the Gibb brothers go. No chance. Still 0-2, and this time he lines it to the left side. No chance for Gubler. Trying to get the glove down, but you'd have to be a pretty harsh scorekeeper to call that an error, because that was a rocket off the bat of Gotches.
So they just keep hitting. First time it was a soft liner further down the line. That time a rocket, but both times right down that third baseline. Might want to move over on him.
Back and back a little.
Yeah, and
that was a shot. Back to the coach's comments real quick, brought to you by Locker Room, is Coach Sechrist was saying, and I think I mentioned it, but, they beat this team 27-2 a couple of years ago in the preseason, Mike, and then lost to them 3 days later in a region game 10-9. He says, I've told that story over and over again to these kids to not be complacent, but, it kind of feels like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what? Strike called now on the batter, Clark. And that one misses inside, so ball and a strike.
A little chin music on that one, kind of high and tight. And I noticed Snow Canyon now has sent Jet Jensen down to the bullpen.
I thought he might be our starter today.
Yep.
Runners going on the play. Ground ball to Deming. Deming will have no play at second. He'll have to go to first. Sechrist scoops that one up for the out. But, wow, very timely hit and run. That should have been a double play ball, but because the runner was already to the bag, Deming just had to throw to first for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, very well done. I tell you what, the Falcons playing extremely well. You call it absolutely perfect because he started early. He was able to break up or get out of that double play ball.
That was another change of speed, so the batter had to, Clark had to stay back just to get a piece of it, and he did. So the runners at second and third as the first pitch now to McCray Webster is inside for ball 1. Webster walked and eventually scored in the first inning. already with his second AB now here in the second inning.
There are no outs right now for the Warriors.
Right down the middle is strike one, so 1 down and 1. There's a one down.
There's just 1 out. Sorry, they just threw him out at first.
What did we say? Don't trust the scoreboard. I know it says 0, but don't trust it.
I did look up and went, whoops. But as I said it, I'm going, hey, wait, Andy just called the out. I remember that.
Nice breaking ball. Mike Kitchen drops in there for strike 2.
See, he's got some tools out there. A couple of his curves, he's been able to get him in. Unfortunately, you know, Canyon View right now seeing him pretty good, and they're getting the ball hit.
A pitch inside made the runner or the batter jump back, and the count even up at 2-2. By the way, just want to mention we do have one Region 9 update brought to you by Hearst Ace Hardware. Cedar right now getting waxed by Juab. They were up 2-0. It's now 10-2 in the 6th. Approaching Mercy Rule area. Ground ball up the middle. Kitchen with the great grab. Looks at both runners and then throws over to first. Mike, that was an athletic play that only a guy who's played some quarterback and other things could have made.
That was absolutely outstanding, and it looked like he was totally out of control, but I think you're right. I think he just quickly checked second, checked third, and then wheeled and dished to first and got the out.
And some credit to Lambeth at third for not committing, because they'd have had him dead to rights at home, or if he tried to get back to third, had he gone any further. Another ground ball, another field by Kitchen. This time he doesn't care about the runners because there's 2 down. He throws to first to retire the side. So another jam that this time Canyon View comes away empty-handed after an inning and a half on our one-loss scoreboard. 3-2, Falcons leading the Warriors. We talk about a lot about pitch counts, and here's why, Mike. We had a rule change in the offseason, and it's gotten to the point where now coaches have to arrange their whole state tournament around pitch counts. It used to be 14 innings in a calendar week, and you know, I would say, Mike, in my experience over the years, that coaches have managed it well and not abused that rule, because you can have a kid throwing 300 pitches in 1 week, which would just kill his arm. But I think they had managed it well. There must have been a couple of abuses, though, because they made this new rule. And it's 110, not 115, 110 max pitches. You can't finish the batter that you're facing when you hit 110. If you throw more than 60, you have to have 2 days rest. If you throw more than 35, you have to have 1 day rest. That means an entire day off. So if you were to pitch Thursday and you threw over 60, Mike, you would be done for the tournament. And if you threw 35 to 60, you would have to take Friday off, and you could pitch Saturday. Then anything less than that, you can go more. I saw a situation yesterday, though, where Ridgeline probably should have forfeited the game. They lost anyway. That's the team Canyon View beat. But Dallin Larson threw 78 pitches earlier in the day. They brought him in the game later in the day, which is a big, big no-no. But he got shelled pretty hard anyway by the Falcons, so it didn't matter. Batter now for Snow Canyon is Steven Gubler. Steven, I don't know if he's been hurt or has he just been doing well at JV, but they brought him up the last few weeks, and he has done well. He grounds it to short, ball in the dirt, and it gets away from the first baseman, and Gubler is safe. He made the call before the umpire did.
I love that. I mean, that's just a natural reaction, but you're right. He looked down, he saw the ball bobbled, and he was saying, I'm safe, I'm safe. And the umpire agreed he was safe. So an E1 on the catch? Or an E3, I mean?
I would go E6 because it was in the dirt.
All right.
Regardless, Gubler is aboard, and Matt Kitchen, the pitcher, now is at the plate. Kitchen hitting for himself. They're actually DHing for the second baseman, Brock Seacrest. And Kitchen takes the ball low.
Matt, I think, kind of redeemed himself a little bit. His pitching, he's still getting knocked a little bit, but boy, with the glove, he had a great last half inning.
That was an important inning for him.
Big time.
He got in another jam, but he got himself out of it. Toss over to Chet Gubler. Gubler is not a threat to run. Like I said, he really didn't play, Mike, for most of the region season. I think he had like 17 at-bats during region play, but in the last week or two, he's been good. Kitchen takes a strike at the knees to even the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Caleb Gates on deck. Gates has had a good season hitting. I always crack up when I think about Caleb Gates. He has all these hits. He hasn't scored a run. He said, what? He hasn't scored a... Well, they bring him out every single time, and Seth Smith comes in to run for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Seth was second in the region in steals and among the league leaders in runs scored.
You think they get together and Gates walks over and pats him on the back?
You owe me.
You owe me. Absolutely. You owe me, buddy.
Well, you got to figure Seth is rooting for Caleb to get hit so he can go out there and play. That ball low, by the way. So the count now 2 balls and a strike to Kitchen, but the tying run over at first here in the second inning. And that one way, way outside for ball 3. So now McInnes may be starting to show a little bit of wildness.
He tried to, looks like, turn that one over, and it might have, but it turned the wrong way. That ended up way outside. Now, half the duty was getting out of the last inning. The other half, get some more runs on the board.
Surprised they're not bunting to move the runner over. 3-1, and Kitchen hits it through the right side for a solid single. Gubler around second, but slams on the brakes, but that one just kind of went where nobody was, Mike, and that's the key to baseball, I guess.
How many times, I know I've used it a lot, there's a seeing eye single to the right. That's like they looked at both players and thought, I'm going right through the middle right there. Good hit.
If you can actually do that, then you're going to be a very, very good hitter. But, actually hitting the ball where guys aren't isn't as easy as it might sound. That's why even the best hitters only do it half the time.
I said that a lot, but I didn't ever do it. I played a little softball back in the day. I didn't do that. I'll just say.
So 2 on, nobody out, and Caleb Gates at the plate, and Gates takes a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1.
Big opportunity right now for the Snow Canyon Warriors after being down 3-0 top of the first. They got 2 back, and now with a chance to get some more.
Gates swinging, flares it to the right side, foul, and nobody will have a chance to pick it up as it lands in the bullpen on the Canyon View side.
Well, now, wait a minute. He hit that where nobody was.
He did, but unfortunately it has to be between those white lines. One going to our right and the other going to our left, and he's got to get it in there somewhere.
Yeah, pretty good job, actually. He was going opposite field with that one, but you're right, well out of play.
And again, Snow Canyon playing for a big inning instead of playing small ball. No bunt here with 2 on and nobody out. Gates pops it up in foul territory. The catcher, McElprank, trying to track it down, and he makes a nice catch on the run for out number 1.
I said this yesterday in our broadcast, and I'll say it again right now. I think this is, for most of the catchers, this is a new experience. This ballpark very much deeper. A lot of high schools, you've got, 15 feet back to the screen. You got to find the ball, locate it, and then not worry about where you're running. Where is that fence anyway? Good job.
Back to Jamison Day and the top of the order with 2 on and 1 out now. Let's see if Day is bunting. He likes to bunt for a hit occasionally. And McInnes delivers, and it is inside for ball 1. I did a game yesterday at Spanish Fork Sports Complex. Pretty nice field in the middle. Actually, they have like 3 or 4 fields altogether. But the backstop there, not only was it close, like maybe 15, 20 feet, Mike, it had about a 3-foot concrete wall on the bottom. And I saw a couple of guys, is there a ground ball foul? Just foul by Day.
Yep.
I saw a couple of guys get thrown out at home simply by the catcher turning around, taking 3 steps, and the ball's coming back to them, and then they've tossed it over to the pitcher for the tag out.
Right. Ballparks, that's the one thing you have to kind of figure out. That's why you want to come, practice early, be on the field, get a little bit of a feel for it. By the way, a 1-1 count now on Day.
Yeah, after that foul. Runner's still on and no bunts again. And that ball drops down low for ball 2. I'm actually a little surprised we haven't seen a bunt with 2 on, nobody out, and now with 2 on and 1 out. Coach Seacrest, I guess, assuming we're going to go for a big inning and not try to just get that tying run home. They are still behind 3-2. The book kind of says, let's go ahead and bunt here.
Yep.
But you know what they say about the book.
We all talk about the book. That one was down low again. Looking at the field, that center fielder shading him just a little bit to the left side. So the hole would be in right center. I don't know if that day goes that way a lot or not.
3-1 count now. Ball here loads him up for Davis Rigby. And the delivery, breaking ball way outside, and ball 4. And for the second time in a row, Jamison Day is aboard. He singled on the infield hit and scored in the first inning. Now he's over at first, and 3 men on for Snow Canyon's Davis Rigby with 1 out.
Almost a complete flip from the first inning, and that is now we're seeing Josh McInnes struggling a little bit with his control.
The only out in this inning, a pop out behind home plate from one catcher to the other. First pitch way high, as even the fastball now is not working for McInnes. And that's got to make Coach Jacobson and company over there nervous, Mike, on that side of things.
I was just looking. They haven't put anybody in the bullpen, but a lot of times it's guys already on the field that come in.
Ground ball left side. Third baseman knocks it down, but he's not going to have a play anywhere. Everybody's safe, and the score is tied at 3. I got to call that a hit, Mike. I mean, that was a rocket, too. We'll see what the official scorers call that one. But, I mean,
must have stayed with the hit. I'm watching the board up there.
It was really hard hit, and he did a great job just to get in front of it and knock it down. Unfortunately, the carom 10, 15 feet away.
Caromed away from him, yeah. I tend to agree with you on that one.
Mike's agreeing with me, so I'm going to go with it.
So that's unusual, so let's go with it.
Called strike on Deming on the first pitch. Deming again with 17 extra base hits this year, including 8 home runs. Love to hit a salami right now.
Yeah.
3-3 game, and the pitch. Breaking ball, and Deming fouls it back.
I think he wants that pitch back. What do you think?
Yeah,
that was a good one. I ended up in his wheelhouse. In fact, he took a little bit off of it, but he got just underneath it. As you said, fouled it back to the screen.
In an 0-2 hole now. 3 runs in, 2 of them earned so far for McInnes. And facing the most dangerous hitter around, and there's ball 1 to Deming. Missed that one outside. Good pitch, though, on an 0-2 count. Don't give a dangerous hitter anything close.
Yep.
That was one of the problems with Desert Hills yesterday. They got ahead in counts, and then they would throw a ball down the middle against the Ridgeline, and the Ridgeline was pounding it. Here's the 1-2 breaking ball, and Deming hit that ball hard to left center. It is going to be off the wall. 1 run is in for sure. 2 runs will come home. Coming around third is the base runner, Rigby, and he will score a 3-run double by Austin Deming.
Wow, you give him the pitch he wants, and he'll do something with it. And that was hit hard. Watching the center fielder, he was sprinting. He got to the track, but by then the ball had hit the wall.
Yeah, I almost had a little pity on Robinson out there in center, thinking, man, that poor guy, he is at a full sprint, very deep ballpark. In fact, I would submit that in most Region 9 ballparks, that was a homer. But it hit on the wall, and Deming makes it a 6-3 lead for the Warriors with now Cannon Sechrist at the plate.
Wow. What a blast by Deming. Those who have watched Snow Canyon throughout the year go, yeah, I've been there before, seen that. Canyon View jumping out to a 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead, excuse me, and now seeing that go by the wayside. But this game's not over.
Ball misses low to Sechrist, 1-0 count. By the way, they have 7 runs up on the board on the scoreboard over there. They have scored 4 in the inning, not 7. Not sure where that came from.
Yeah, did you know 2 and 7 equals 6?
Apparently, it's the new math, Mike.
We understand.
Sechrist grounds it to the left side. Third baseman up with it. Only play at first. Got to hurry. And he got him. Nice scoop over there at first base by Ecker. Very close play, but it is a ground out on a fielder's choice by Sechrist.
Coach Sechrist out there asking for a little information on that one. Just from my perspective, I thought it was closer, but the umpire, I give him credit, he made the call immediately. There was no hesitation.
Well, they're consulting now, the 2 umps.
I think maybe Coach Seacrest asked him to do that.
Maybe was there a little bit of a bobble, Mike? Did he not catch it completely cleanly?
He's safe. He's safe.
I'm guessing it looked like there was a little teeny bit of a bobble there at first. Like he didn't have it like clean in his glove yet. And that would be something.
Now that brought out the Falcon coach, and he's hot.
The base up would be looking at the ball and then the bag where the foot is. And now they're going to change it back, Mike?
Wow, they did. They called him safe, and now he's out again.
Kind of Seacrest doing his best impersonation of a yo-yo right now. Back and forth to first.
Okay.
And I think the final verdict is going to be out number 2.
Yeah.
Which is good because I already wrote it in my book.
Okay. Well, that was interesting. You know what? I'm going to guess here when they went and they talked about it and the umpire turned and made the call, I think he just made the wrong signal. I do.
Wait a minute. That's day one in umpire school. Pop up on that one. Trouble, and it is a foul ball. The pitcher was the only one really that could get to it. With the catcher, he couldn't find it. The first baseman Ecker was late coming over, so McInnes was kind of wrestling with the ball, trying to figure out where it was going to come down. It landed about 6 inches foul, which is probably a good thing for Snow Canyon because the runner had stood right where he was at Baker. So it's an 0-1 count to Braden Baker. And Baker takes that one high for a ball and a strike.
We're seeing some wild stuff. Saw a lot of that yesterday. Some contested calls and things.
Had to figure there'd be some runs scored today.
Yeah, absolutely.
As the pitching starts to weaken here at State. Baker rips that one to left field, going back, off the wall. Karam's hard. The left fielder's got a long run. Baker with good speed, but he will slam on the brakes in second. That's an RBI double off the left field wall for Braden Baker.
Wow, what a hit for a minute there. I thought I had a chance to get out of here, but hit about halfway up the wall. Then as you called it, Andy, Karam kind of weird, so he had an easy trek to second base, and Deming comes in to score.
Yeah, Deming, because there was 2 outs, he was going anyway on the contact. So he was home, and he actually, I think, turned around and watched the same thing we did. Watched the ball hit off the wall, and then he got to applaud. And now batter number 9 in the inning is Zach Nowatzki, with Snow Canyon pushing it out to a 7-3 lead. Nowatzki takes a ball low.
Watching the pitcher, McInnes, does a lot of jumping up and down, and I thought he was contesting. I think he's just so into the game that, I want that one back.
This one misses outside with a fastball, 2-0 now to Nowatzki. Stephen Gubler started the inning. If you remember, Mike, it was a grounder to short that the throw was a little bit low in the dirt, ended up being an error, and that started this inning off. He's on deck. Nowatzki hits that one toward the shortstop. One hopper. Clark up with it over to first in time to retire the side. But Snow Canyon comes up with 5 big runs. They've taken a 7-3 lead after 2 complete on our 1-loss scoreboard.
For Snow Canyon in the bottom of the second inning, they score 5 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 clean error, 1 runner left on base. After 2 complete innings of play, now Snow Canyon 7, Canyon View 3.
Well, big inning for the Warriors. They turn a 3-2 deficit into a 7-3 lead, Mike, now as we head to inning number 3. I had a feeling, and tell me if you concur, the Warriors were going to score a bunch of runs today, and to me it was just a matter of would Canyon View keep up. What do you think?
I tell you what, I think you nailed that one, Andy. And the other thing is their pitching They went with Kitchen, and at the beginning it didn't look like a very good decision as Canyon View got to him, scored 3 runs, but if we say that second inning, and we're a long way from being over here, but I thought he settled down, his glove helped a little bit, and you're right. The big thing is, can Canyon View score runs too?
And I would say just as far as momentum of baseball goes and things, I think the Falcons have to score a run in this inning. They have to put together at least a little rally if they're going to be in this game. First pitch swinging on a foul ball is Trace Harden.
Out of play.
Harden, part of that Falcon football team. Great athlete. I love these guys that play multiple sports. I was reading a statistic on that, Mike, and Harden fouls that one down the line on the other direction now.
Harden in the first inning got a board on the air on the second baseman where the ball went right under his glove, but he was left aboard.
That did bring a run home, though.
That was that. Yeah, that works.
Harden swings and misses, and Gates saw it go in the dirt, picked him up, and tagged Harden, who was not moving. He wasn't going anywhere. And that's out number 1. Good pitch by Matt Kitchen, who seems to have settled in now.
Logan Ecker walking up. He walked in the first inning, but was stranded aboard.
Yeah, Ecker on 5 pitches, and he swings at a ball in the dirt for strike 1.
That was probably the slowest swing I've seen in a long time. He was full. Should I? Oh, I did. Okay. Nothing against the kid. He just was kind of, what should I do here?
Another nice pitch by Kitchen, and the count goes to 0-2. He really seems to be a lot more comfortable now. I think, sometimes you need to get into it for whatever reason if you're a pitcher. He had 2 defensive plays that really seemed to help him a lot, Mike, as he's come out a different man.
Yeah.
Throws that one in the dirt, but on an 0-2 count, that's kind of where you want to put it.
I think another big key was his teammates went out and immediately in the bottom of the first got him 2 runs, and so it was only a 1-run game at that point.
Foul ball, count remains 1-2. The stat I was referring to earlier when I'm talking about multi-sport athletes is out of the 400 and something guys that were drafted in the NFL draft, I think like 87% played other sports in high school as well. And most of the coaches I talk to, they're like, that's a confirmation that they're looking for a well-rounded athlete who can do a little bit of everything. And I agree. I think that's a good thing. It's ball 2 now. And another foul ball by Ecker. Count is 2-2 with 1 gone here in the top of the third. Snow Canyon with a 7-3 advantage.
Ecker up tight on the plate that last time. Kind of jammed him, but he fought it off and fouled it back.
Fouls another one off. He's got an interesting stance, Mike. He's very open as the pitcher is going through his windup. But right before the ball is delivered, he closes it tight. Actually brings that left leg forward and in. I see he opens that way up there. Now the delivery goes inside and pokes that thing foul to the right side. First baseman gives chase but can't quite get there. Good effort by
Cannon Sechrist. Sechrist got there. I think he may have even got the glove to touch the ball, but that'd have been a great catch had he been able to haul that one in. Yeah, you're right on his stance. That's interesting. To me, it's almost like, how do you move that foot quick enough and still be in good position to swing the bat? He does it very well.
Well, and he closes it so far that it looks like he's trying to hit it to right field.
Yeah.
And this time he grounds it to short. Deming dives on it like a cat, throws across the diamond, but actually throws that thing, airmails it over the first baseman's head.
Wow.
I think you got to call that an infield hit. Good effort by Deming as he laid out parallel to the ground, but no chance on the throw across. I think even if that's a good throw, Mike, he doesn't get him.
I'll tell you what, though, I almost expected him to jump up and get that over there. We've seen Deming a couple of times make incredible plays just like that. But I agree. I would say that's a hit. He really had very little chance.
There are some great defensive players in the region, but I would submit that if we had a defensive player of the year, it would be Austin Deming. He's made a few errors, but his errors have been effort errors where he's trying to make the spectacular play, and a lot of times he does make the spectacular play.
Yep. Little bit. The throw over, close, no cigar on that one.
Tyrell Robinson, the batter now, he walked his first time up, and in doing so, he did it with bases loaded, so he got an RBI. Now he comes up with 1 on and 1 out, left-handed hitter, and he takes a ball. You look at the lineup for Canyon View. they're almost exclusively righties. In fact, I think this might be the only starting position player that bats lefty.
Nice to have a little lefty bat in there, isn't it?
Right center, it's going to be trouble, and it gets into the gap. And he'll cruise on around first to second. Ecker pulling the piano bird, the plow behind him, will get to third, actually long after the batter Robinson had gotten to second. But another little rally going now for Canyon View on the double.
Good hit that time. They were actually, Snow Canyon was playing him not very deep in right field, and he basically golfed it over his head. Back to your comment, so that'd have been a triple almost any other time except when you're following Ecker.
Yeah. You know, Bless Ecker, great hitter, good third baseman, but not fast.
Not fleet of foot, huh?
And this one hit to the left side. Deming, though, with a beat on it, catches the little flare. Both runners see what's happening and get back to the bags in time, 2 down.
When it took off the bat, for a moment it looked like it might be a little bloop into left center, but it wasn't that deep, and there quickly was Austin Denning to haul that one in.
So Dallin Smith with the soft liner for out number 2, and again, Kitchen can get out of the jam if he can get it out here. That pitch was low, and Gates blocks it.
Joey Lambeth flew out to right field and then reached on a error on the third baseman.
Yeah, throw in the dirt. They couldn't scoop.
Yep.
1-0 count. Kitchen brings it, and it's punched to right field. This is going to be extra bases and bring runs home. One man in, another man home. It's 7-6. Runner round second as the ball is mishandled. That'll be a double and an error. And the ball goes, does it get into? No, it stays in play. Lucky Karam on the overthrow. But yeah, the right fielder, Baker, could not find the baseball. He just, like 3 times, tried to pick it up. So an RBI double brings home 2, 7-5 now. And then give him that extra base on an E9.
Wow. How quickly it does turn. Well, we answered that question you asked a moment ago. Can Canyon View score runs? Yes, they can.
Can they match? Yeah, they are.
All right, now they're down 7-5, but still alive here in the inning with a runner at third.
Colton Gotchis, the batter. Gotchis is 2 for 2 already, and we're just in the third inning. He could go 3 for 3 in 3 innings. Pokes that one foul and out of play to the right side. Count is 1-1. Caden Clark on deck. Clark is 1 for 2. Heart of the order here with the 2, 3, 4 batters due up, if they can keep the inning going.
Kitchen has been knocked around a bit.
And this one hit hard to left in the gap. Left fielder over Day, and I think he's got a beat on it. No, can't get it. That thing just dropped in before he could find it, Mike. They're going to try to go to third. Throw over third is not in time. Another ball that gets away, and actually the runner could have scored had he not been down eating dirt.
Wow. That ball went a long way, and the left fielder got over there. I don't know they're going to give that as an error, but I'll tell you what, he got there and got a glove on the ball, but I think they're saying he went a long way to get there.
Yeah, I would classify that as a base
Another
hit.
double.
Mike, but, well, give him a triple. He never stopped. So a triple for Gotchis. His third hit in the game. We're in the third inning. And Caden Clark to the plate now. It's 7-6. We got ourselves a shootout, folks.
Boy, we do indeed. And we've seen these before. You get into these later games at the state tournaments. Pitching gets a little suspect. Batters are saying thank you. And they're teeing off.
Breaking ball misses 2-0 now to Clark, who is percentage-wise the best hitter on the team.
He's 1 for 2 in the game with a single and scored and then grounded to the shortstop.
Base hit here ties it. 2-0, and he may not get a chance for a base hit because he's got a 3-0 count now.
Are you a statistic player? You walking?
No, I think he pitched
Not
him
on purpose.
Yeah.
But you be careful. Well, he was taken on that one.
Yeah, called strikes with 3-1. It's the old neighborhood pitch. You get that anywhere in the neighborhood, and the umpire usually is going to call it a strike.
Kitchen still big curve.
And that one almost took the head off of Colton Gotchis at third base. He points over to his teammate and says, "You almost got me.
Hey.
You almost got me."
That's pretty good cat-like reflex over there, and that was called preservation of life.
It
was ripped.
It was a foul ball, but woo. And there's a called strike 3. So Kitchen gets out of it. The batter Clark does not like it, but he's not going to get a second chance. We've played 2.5, and we're already at 7-6. Snow Canyon on top on our one-off scoreboard. Welcome back at the Triple B in Orem on UVU, also home of the Orem Owls, and that's Owls with a Z, by the way, there at the end, following the Jazz thing. I noticed we have a semi-pro team for those listening on the internet in Southern Utah, a football team called the Zion Lions, and everybody in the state spells it with a Z. It is not. It is Zion Lions with an S. But everybody else thinks it's a Z, just like the Orem Owls and the Raptors and some of those other ones that go along with the Utah.
That is so like yesterday, isn't it? Everything used to be Z. The Pioneers, of course, the Jazz, and a lot of them did. The Stars.
That's right.
Now they kind of backed off a little bit. Nothing wrong with it. And the Owls are a Z. All right, Snow Canyon with a chance now to come back here in the bottom of the third inning.
Gubler actually led off the bottom of the second inning, too, and he reached on an error. And he takes the ball there, 1-0. You heard, I don't know if you can hear it through our crowd, Mike. That was Coach Sechrist saying, "Hey, get on base, let's go."
That's right.
And there's a strike at the knees for 1-1 count now on Stephen Gubler. Gubler did score after reaching on that error. He was the first of 5 runs to come in the second. And the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball inside, backs him off a little bit, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, it took something off, didn't break, stayed up and in on that last pitch.
Do up Gubler and then Kitchen and Gates this inning. And the 2-1. Way inside, and again, just missed the batter there, Gubler. So the count now 3-1, and I'm sure that Coach Sechrist would be happy with the hit batsman, although I don't know how Gubler would feel about that.
Sore at the very least.
3-1 is hit hard to the left side in the air. Left fielder with a beat on it. On the warning track and making the grab is Colton Gotchis.
Deep, but not quite deep enough. 10, 15 feet from the wall, and that was it.
Yeah, pretty short lines here. 305 right down the left field line. And we see a lot of balls hit into that corner. We saw a ball earlier in this game by Snow Canyon hit off of that wall, about 20 feet in from the line.
Yep.
1 down now, and swinging on the first pitch is Gates, and he pops it up. Shortstop Clark back with it, makes the grab. Excuse me, that was Kitchen, not Gates. And just like that, 2 down, Mike.
Yeah, he went after that first pitch and kind of got under it. That was an easy time by the shortstop there to drop back and pick it up. So 2 quick outs here for Snow Canyon. They still lead, though, by a run.
Our pitch count today brought to you by Air Care Professionals Heating and Air Conditioning, Heating and Cooling. Over 20 years of experience serving all of Washington County, aircarepros.com. Real quick, looking at that pitch count, 79 already for Kitchen through 3 innings pitched. McInnes, at this very moment, he just threw his 55th pitch of the game.
Which was fouled off, by the way. So it's an 0-1 count on Caleb Gates, the catcher.
And again, an interesting fact about Gates, he doesn't score runs because they pull him for a speed-up runner every time, and it's always the same guy, Seth Smith, who was number 2 in all of Region 9 in stolen bases and in the top 10 in runs scored.
Yeah, we mentioned that's a pretty good combination there.
That one hits Gates, so he'll take the abuse. He'll jog to first, and then we'll see Seth Smith sprint on out there to first base right about now. There he goes, making sure not to step on the line as he comes across. So Gates, that one, you know, if Gates gets a hit or something, that's okay. You bring the runner. But when he has to take the hit like that on the arm, seems like you ought to let him
I think he's
run.
kind of going, nah, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm all right.
I'm going to run for myself this time.
Look, I'm going to take care of that bruise.
So Seth Smith, the speed-up runner for the catcher. He will go at any time. Pretty big lead, and McKinnis sees that and tosses over to first.
We talked about McKinnis and him. He really struggled at bottom of the second inning. Right now he's in pretty good shape with 1 on and 2 down.
Less than 60 pitches. If they were going to use him, well, no, they can't use him again in this tournament. He's done.
Right.
Smith is going. It was hit and run, and the ball punched to the left side. Playable and caught by Gotches. He gets 2 putouts in the inning, and Smith had that base stolen by a mile. Doesn't matter. Yep. We've played 3 complete from Brent Brown Ballpark in the 3A state elimination game, and it's 7-6 Snow Canyon. Back in a minute. Welcome back. Snow Canyon and Canyon View playing an elimination game, and Mike, this could end up being pretty epic. This kind of game. Now, do we have a pitching change or?
No.
Check my roster.
Still out there.
Reed Sechrist went out and talked with the umpire. I don't know if he was just re-entering Gates or what he was doing. By the way, I was told by Assistant Director Jeff Clough just now that Larson was allowed to pitch in a second game in the same day. The pitch count is not per game,
day.
but per day.
Yeah.
So he could have thrown 104 pitches and come out and pitched 6 more pitches and been okay. Interesting little nuance to that rule.
We stand corrected, but glad to hear that.
First pitch swinging, ground ball left side. Kitchen gloves it. He'll have time with a slower Webster running up the line, and 1 down on the 1-3 putout.
By the way, I think they made a change in the field. I can't see far enough yet. I watched the home plate umpire.
Do we know where at, Mike?
I thought, well, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. We'll have to wait and see if we can pick up.
The problem with baseball is you don't have uniform numbers on the front of the jerseys.
What's with the guys there?
And everybody, of course, is facing us. And there's a strike to Joey McElprank. And so it is hard for us when they make a switch unless the guys turn around to see a number.
We yell and ask them to turn, but apparently they don't hear us.
They don't listen to us.
Just kidding. Ball and a strike on McElprank.
1-1. McElprank had a sac fly for an RBI, and then he grounded out, so he's 0 for 1 in the game with an RBI. 1-1 pitch to him, a little bit high by Kitchen, 2-1. Yeah, Coach Sechrist spent a moment with the umpire right there before the inning started, but we weren't privy to the conversation.
Right. We'll try and pick that up.
2-1. Down in the dirt. Ball 3. Gets away, but nobody on base, so no harm. Jeff Clough, I noticed, Mike, the other day. I was following the Utah-BYU game that had gone into the 13th inning, and Jeff Clough was one of the umpires in that game.
Actually, I saw that one.
Oh, did you? You were there?
I don't know. I mean, on TV,
okay.
I was, anyway.
Called strike on the 3-1 pitch, so the count goes full on Joey McElprank.
Clough, of course, one of those. Many would recognize him as was at Dixie State University for many years, moved up here, and now he's in charge of all of the officiating for the high school activity.
Big swing and a miss and a strikeout for Matt Kitchen on the high cheese, the alto queso there, Mike, as McElprain cannot catch up to it.
Kind of went fishing. He wanted that high fastball, just couldn't get to it.
Appreciate our strikeout sponsors, Mike, as well as our timeout sponsors. We got some good sponsors. Strikeouts brought to you by Horizon Homes, and timeouts brought to you by Hanks Riverwalk. Those usually come in baseball when you're making a pitching change, and we haven't had one of those yet.
We haven't. We almost expected one on maybe both sides, but nope. Both pitchers have gone the length so far. We're in the top of the 4th inning.
Well, these coaches need these guys to burn up some innings. There's a ball hit hard to left center. It will end up in front of the left fielder, Day, and a solid single for Trace Harden.
He got a hold of that, ripped it to the left side.
Looked like it might get to the gap, but they had him played shading left, and pretty good effort there by Dade just to run to it and get in front.
Yeah, he got there pretty quick. I agree. He was over there in good shape, got it back in pretty quickly. So
Logan Ecker up next.
1 on, 2 down.
And Ecker takes a strike.
Ecker walked and was left aboard, and then he singled and scored back in the 3rd.
It was that infield single, and behind him, Robinson had hit a double, but Robinson rounded second and was headed to 3rd. And he saw that that Ecker wasn't there yet. And he said, "I better stay here." 0-1 to the big first baseman, and a beautiful breaking ball drops in there for an 0-2 count.
Kind of fun. We are in perfect position where we are broadcasting from, up high and right behind the catcher. We got a good look at the curves.
So big 0-2 count. Let's see if Kitchen stays out of the strike zone. The ball was fouled off. It was close enough that Ecker said, "I'm just foul this thing away, and we'll go to another pitch."
So it's a 1-run game. We're in the top of the 4th inning, scheduled 7-inning elimination game here in the tournament.
I did a 1-run game last week. I broadcast Desert Hills and Park City. This is not that kind of game.
Right.
That was a combined 7 hits between the two teams for the whole game. 6 hits, actually.
Walk-off hit.
1 run scored.
Yeah.
And now it's 7-6 with 14 hits, and we're still in the 4th inning. Breaking ball misses after a foul, so the count goes to 2-2 to Logan Ecker with Robinson on deck. Probably rather pitch to Ecker right now, at least hotness-wise, because Robinson's hitting the heck out of the baseball.
He is indeed.
Kitchen delivers and missed that one way high for ball 3. So he is at risk right now of making it a 2-men on, 2-out situation for Robinson. Big pitch coming up, 3-2, 1 on, 2 outs. And Kitchen, like a lot of pitchers like to do, kind of take a little bit of pressure out by tossing over to first. Wasn't really close and wasn't really a great throw, but just to kind of relieved a little pressure, I think. There we go with the 3-2. And that ball is popped up on the infield. Deming is over, says, "I got this." Calls the infield, the second baseman off, makes the play, and retires aside. 3.5 in the books. 7-6, Warriors on top. Well, let's go out into the bottom of the 4th now. And normally in a baseball game, your starting pitchers would not be around if the score was 7-6 in the 4th inning. But these coaches realize that if they're going to succeed and move on, they just kind of got to let their guys eat up some innings.
Yep, Josh McGinnis staying on the mound for the Falcons, and I don't know. Why not? You're not out of this one. Down a run, 7-6 here, and going into the bottom of the fourth inning. Looking at Snow Canyon, could be a good inning for him as they will go with the number 2, 3, and 4 batters: Rigby, Deming, and Sechrist.
McInnes with 59 pitches. Regardless of what else happens, he is done for the tournament. So if they do win and have to play, another game tonight and a couple tomorrow, well, McInnes will be unavailable. Let me ask you this, Mike. He's a sophomore, young guy, very, very few innings this year. Is this kind of game bad for him to get roughed up a little bit in the state tournament as a sophomore?
Boy, that's a pretty good question, but I don't think so. I mean, I think it's actually okay for him. He's a young guy. He's up here. He's working hard. The coach has shown a little confidence in him. I would look at it that way and say, here's the ball. Go for it.
Rigby punches one into center, and that's going to drop in front of the center fielder Robinson, and Davis Rigby leads off the bottom of the fourth with a solid single.
Yeah, I got a hold of that one. It took off for a moment. I thought it might stay in the air long enough to allow center fielder to get there, but no, it dropped in. So a good solid hit and a very dangerous batter, Austin Deming, once again, who had a huge hit in that big second inning, back to the plate.
Well, if you look at the gap that they're giving now on Deming, the gap is actually in center field.
Yep.
And there's a lot of room down the line, and the center fielder is almost playing in left field. I mean, he's over there.
Although the right fielder, you're right, has moved way over into right center. So, yeah, that gap is the right field line.
They're expecting Deming to pull and not go the other way, obviously, as he takes the ball one. Second pitch in the dirt for ball two. Deming would rather not walk. He's looking for a strike that he can drive. He did walk and score in the first, and he doubled home 3 runs back in the second inning.
Yep, he scored twice. So
2-0 count on him right now. Rigby does steal occasionally. Pitcher checks him. And Deming, little check swing, got a piece of it.
Kind of fooled him on that one. He started into the swing and tried to hold up, but he fouled it right back into the catcher's glove.
I think he thought 2-0, he's going to throw me a fastball, I'm going to hit it, but it was actually a changeup.
It was.
He couldn't check it. So 2-1 now. Remember, he hit that double with a 2-strike count, though. So, and the delivery, and that one's in the dirt. The runner will move up. That's not a stolen base. That's a wild pitch on the bouncer in the dirt. So Davis Rigby at second. Count now 3-1 on Deming, and I wonder, Mike, if they're going to go ahead and put him on.
We go back to that. Yeah, now the base is open, and he's a dangerous hitter.
And they
exactly just put him on.
They're not even going to throw the fourth ball. They just say, that's it. Put him on base. And we expected a lot more of that this year, and there hasn't been much in Region 9, which kudos to the coaches, Mike, around the region. I hate the intentional walk, but I understand it's an integral part of baseball, and it's important, but I still hate it.
I think I saw it maybe once this year, and if I remember right, it was Fisher of Dixie High School.
Yeah.
Who they said, "Now you go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
you may now walk."
Too. First pitch to Sechrist is fouled, and he's mad at himself because he saw that one well.
He did.
It swung early.
Yes. That's kind of fun. He hit his helmet, and you can actually hear the whack clear up here.
He tripled back in the first inning.
Well, that was that shot down the right field line, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Went sailing over top the first
baseman.
baseman.
He tried to check his swing on that one on a ball inside, and they're going to say he did check it in time, so the count is 1-1.
The bat might have went a ways, but that's because his body was gyrating. Get out of the way of that pitch.
And they do move the fielders a little bit over, but, Mike, there's still a big old gap in basically right center and the right field line.
Yep.
Sechrist is not necessarily a pole hitter. He doesn't mind going the other way. Breaking ball misses away. And the count is 2-1 now on Cannon Sechrist. Sechrist hit .247 this season.
Warriors, Snow Canyon making a little noise here. They're up 1 run, bottom of the 4th inning.
Double play situation for Canton UView defense, so that's where they're set up with runners at first and second and nobody out. And Sechrist lines it to the right side over the second baseman for a solid single. Now the runner Rigby had to hold up at second to see if the second baseman was going to reach that one. Therefore, he has to just kind of cruise over to third, and the bases are full now with nobody out on Josh McInnes, the sophomore pitcher.
Nice hit, but you're right, Andy. Good call on that. It was just that point where as the second baseman, in fact, both Rigby and Deming held up to make sure, then they continued on. So you got it. Bases are loaded, and that might be it for McInnes.
I believe that is the head coach, Jacobson, out there talking with him. And
the pat on the back says, thanks.
I think it's a job well done, and let's go to the pen. So we're going to take a timeout. Brought to you by Hank's Riverwalk Grill. Right now, if you mention the timeout special, you can get ribs. Buy one, get one free for a rack of ribs. That's a great deal at Hank's Riverwalk. We'll be back in 1 minute with a new pitcher. Well, Coach Jacobson of Canyon View reaching deep now. He tabs Parker Holmes as the new pitcher for the Falcons. Holmes is a sophomore, wears number 6 out there. Good-looking young man. Has not batted this year and only has a few innings logged on the mound. We knew this was going to be a thing. You know, when you get guys, maybe they pitch JV all year, that have, get pressed into service in the state tournament because of all the number of games when you get in the losers bracket, Mike, that you're going to have to play. And so we're going to see how Holmes will do.
That's where you're right. I think the coaches just say, I got to roll the dice. You got a young man. He could be just the man of the hour. He may be a guy that gets beat up here a little bit. But I was just thinking, there's a lot of young arms for the Falcons of Canyon View High School. That kind of bears good things, I think, for the future.
The book is not closed yet on McInnes, as the first pitch from Parker Holmes is low for ball 1 to Braden Baker. Baker doubled his last time up. McInnes threw 69 pitches, 3+ innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, also 3 walks, but he's on the hook for all 3 of these guys as Baker hits a high chopper to short, and it gets away from Clark.
Wow.
That was a weird short hop. It went a mile high, and 2 runs will come home, and the batter will end up Baker all the way at second base. It is 9-6.
Wow, that's weird. We got to give him a hit on that, don't you think?
Well, let's wait for the official ruling, but it looked like, did it hit the lip or a dirt
something.
clod or something, and it took a really hard bounce?
Because you're right, it shot high. He was there. He was in good position watching things out there. I do not see the E going up, so
yeah,
I guess we'll give base hit to Baker.
That will give him a couple of RBIs then. And we'll call it, I think we have to call it a single and an advance on the throw.
That's what I would say, yeah.
0-1 now to Zach Nowatzki.
But 2 more runs in, that's huge.
Nowatzki hits it high but short. Shortstop back, and nobody will get to it. They're going to try and get him at third, but no play there. And Nowatzki will cruise on over to second base. A Texas leaguer or a seeing eye single to the left side. That shortstop Clark went after it, but he just couldn't get there.
Well, that again, things are suddenly again turning bad for the Falcons. Those are they're not powering the ball by any stretch. A bad hop single and then a little Texas leaguer to left, and Snow Canyon has now pushed 3 more runs across. There are no outs, and they have runners at second and third.
Stephen Gubler at the plate, and he takes a strike. Yeah, so far in the inning, single, walk, single, single, and single.
Yep.
And none of them have been hit that hard, Mike.
No, not at all, but they count just the same.
Infield in, ball gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for anybody to go anywhere. As it's ball 1 now, 1-1 to Gubler with Kitchen on deck, I think. Well, and we'll see how long they leave Kitchen in. He's already racked up, what did we say, 79 pitches in 3 innings?
Like that. But again, he gets maybe a little breathing room here when his team comes up with 3 more runs. There's a nice curve. It drops over the outside part of the plate.
Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gubler. The pitcher, sophomore Parker Holmes. Holmes pitching from the stretch. They brought the infield in, trying to cut out any more runs. And that is a check swing strikeout. The catcher tags the base runner Gubler. So nice little K for Mr. Holmes. And Mike, that's first out.
Yeah, it is. Looking at the infield, they stayed in.
Yeah, still just 1 out. They've got to try to cut off any more runs. I think Coach Jacobson's saying, look,
kind of
I don't think we can score more than 10, so let's get this done. Batter now is Kitchen, and the ball gets away from the catcher in the best laid plans.
Yeah.
The runner at third will come on home. That's Braden Baker, and it is 11-6 now. Snow Canyon in 5 innings last week scored 18. We're in the 4th inning this week. They've scored 11.
Difference is they've given up 6 last time, none.
Good point. So 1-0 on Kitchen, the pitcher of record for Snow Canyon, and he hits that ball high and foul. First baseman Ecker over, and he makes the adventurous catch. Runner actually tagged because he was well over there in foul territory, but he stays there. And 2 down. Foul pop out by Kitchen. We'll bring up Caleb Gates. Gates was hit by a pitch last time up.
And he popped to the catcher his second time, so, or his first at bat, I mean.
Yep.
Now it's 2 down here.
Base is almost clear. 1 guy left at third, and Gates will bring him home with a hot shot in the hole on the left side, and it's 12-6 now. RBI single for Caleb Gates.
Now I think we're at that point of the ball game, with the young arms in there. The batters are just saying, give me my bat. I'm going to go up.
A little batting practice.
A little BP happening here. Yep.
Seth Smith will come on out to run for Gates as per usual. And 2 down, 1 on. Runner at first now. Go back to the top of the order. This is the 9th batter of the inning. As Jamison Day, I think, will be batting. I'm not sure what the holdup is at this point. Maybe he had the wrong bat, or that is Jamison, right? Number 5.
Nope.
That is not Jamison.
That is Seth Smith. Is that right? 16?
Huh. Well, then who's at first?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like an Abbott and Costello routine, but I thought 16 was at first, but that definitely, that's 16 at the plate.
17, Brooks Sampson is the speed-up runner, apparently.
Well, there you go. Sampson comes in. I'm sure Sampson was like, no, this is where Seth usually runs,
right.
Coach.
Seth says, what? What's this bat for?
Smith will bat.
Nice
and he, after the first ball foul, takes a curveball for a strike. I'm going to have to put all kinds of annotations in my book here.
That's right.
0-2 now on Seth Smith batting for Day. Interesting that you would pinch hit. I mean, this game's not over yet.
Yeah.
And Smith strikes out, and that'll retire the side. Snow Canyon, though, 5 more runs on the board, and through 4 complete on a 1-loss scoreboard, it's 12-6 Warriors over the Falcons. Well, I was perplexed a little bit why they would pinch hit for Jamison Day, who is, I think, one of the top hitters, top 5 hitters in the entire region, and one of the top hitters, second on the team. Mike, and now my perplexed expression turns to a little bit of a worrisome complexion because Seth Smith is staying in the game and playing center field. They put Smith in center, they move Rigby to left, and that kind of implies to me that maybe Jamison Day has been injured or something.
We don't know, of course. We are kind of speculating on what's going on here. And a lot of changes.
Just a little bizarre to me that you would pinch hit for him, and I mean, it's not like it's 18-6, it's 12-6. We still got a game. So I'm thinking Day might be hurt.
Just to note, Brenton Thorpe is down in warming up now, number 11.
Thorpe has 4 innings this season.
I saw Eichelberger run out there, but he's just the guard. Closing the door out there for
after
him.
A foul, now a swing and a miss by Tyrell Robinson. The count 0-2. Yeah, a little concern about Jamison Day. Now, he did miss a game and some time early in the season with an injury. Not sure what the injury was. I talked to his dad a little bit at one of the games, but he said, yeah, he's not 100% healthy, but they figured by region, which, this was in the preseason, that he would be healthy. And ball hit hard to the left side. Rigby, who's moved from center to left, has a pretty easy play. Few steps back, and he makes the grab for out number 1 on Robinson.
Always wondered the mindset out there. Hey, that's coming at me a little bit differently when you play left as opposed to straightaway center, but he did a great job. It was an easy pop fly. 1 down.
Plus that one was tailing a little bit away. Stayed with it, though, and you figure if you're a center fielder, usually the center fielder is the best fielder in the outfield. There's a called strike there on Dallin Smith. Smith struck out and hit a soft liner to short. And that one in tight, ball and a strike. 12-6, Snow Canyon on top. They scored 5 in the second and 5 in the fourth. And that ball comes in tight, 2-1 now to the number 9 hitter, Dallin Smith, who plays third base for the Falcons. Kitchen delivers and has it fouled back. Count 2-2.
Don't know how much longer Kitchen will be in, but I'll tell you what, they got pretty good work out of him today. We're into the 5th inning now.
He's doing work, and he gets a strikeout there on a swing and miss by Smith, who does lead the Falcons in strikeouts.
Looks like he pulled the string a little bit there, took something off of that pitch, and Smith was out in front with the swing. So you have a quick 2 down, but it's back to the top of the order now for the Falcons,
which has been very successful against Kitchen. And by the way, Mike, he is at 103 pitches. That would be his 104th just now. 110 is the cap. You can finish the batter that you start when you throw your 110th. So this is going to be best case scenario for Snow Canyon. He gets this guy out, and they bring a new guy in the next inning. And a ball and a strike now on Joey Lambeth.
Which obviously answers part of the question of why they got a guy in the bullpen warming up.
Swing and a miss. Wow. Now 2 strikes. Maybe Kitchen knows this is my last guy.
Kind of reaching back.
I'm going to Gubler, and Kitchen is actually the guy who kind of emerges from the triangle there with Gates also present. And Kitchen makes the grab to retire the side. So 4.5 in. That'll be it for Kitchen. They'll have a new pitcher when we start the next inning. But Snow Canyon holding on to a 12-6 lead now.
No hits, no errors. There were no runners left on base.
Those of you in our radio audience, we do have a big day today. Coming up next here on ESPN Sports Radio 97.7 FM is the Pineview Panthers taking on Juan Diego. That's a 3 seed and a 2 seed that are still alive, although both teams are pretty good baseball teams. Juan Diego got a big win, 14-5 last night over Carbon. Of course, Pineview coming off that heartbreaking walk-off loss to the Park City Miners. Got to get your chin up after that one, Mike, and try to put something together.
Yeah, they are the defending state 3A champions.
2-time defending champions.
Absolutely.
Davis Rigby, who led off the 4th inning and scored after he had singled, will lead off the 5th inning, and he takes a ball high. That's when he grounds to the left side. Clark up with it. Nice room service hop this time. Throws the first in time. 6-3 on the putout, and Parker Holmes has got to be happy about that. The young pitcher gets the first out and a very dangerous hitter.
Well, speaking of dangerous hitters, Austin Deming checks in. He's been red hot today. 3 trips to the plate. You showed me his line a moment ago. Oh, wait a minute. He's only got 1 hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does. He has 1 hit. It was a 3-run double, and he scored 3 times and walked twice.
He's been red hot. Ball is outside.
Now, it makes you wonder now. Deming's a sophomore. I know when I was a sophomore, I was pretty clueless. I wonder if he has any idea who Austin Deming is.
Yeah.
Deming hits that ball high to right center. That's going to be extra bases. And it's off the base of the fence. Deming around second. He wants 3. I don't know that he has a triple this season. Well, he does now.
Wow.
As Deming stands up with a triple in the gap in right center field.
Remember I just mentioned he only had 1 hit? Well, now he has 2 hits, 5 bases on those 2 hits. A double and a triple.
Deming has 8 homers. He has 10 doubles, 11 doubles now with today's. That is his very first triple of the season.
Wow. Thank you very much. And he missed a home run probably by 10 feet.
Yeah.
10 feet up because that hit right off the base of the wall.
Ball low to Sechrist. With Deming at 3rd and 1 out, Snow Canyon with 12 runs on the board. They've scored 2 in the first, 5 in the second, 0 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Trying to put a crooked number up in the 5th now, and Holmes misses way outside. I think the most impressive thing, Mike, about that triple just now, he went the other way with it. He didn't pull that ball. He went to right center. You have to be a powerful hitter to hit it that far the other way. What is it? Patrick Carr used to call it Oppo Taco. He almost hit an Oppo Taco. Must be a California thing. That's where Patrick's from. So the count now 2 balls and a strike. 1 out, runner at 3rd, and again they bring the infielders in on the edge of the grass for Sechrist. And he swings badly, got fooled on that one, maybe looking fastball and got a slow bender.
You know, Andy, and I know you love stats. Well, I was watching last night on baseball. It's a pitcher. I can't remember his name. He plays for Toronto. He got his first home run ever last night. But you know what the stat was on him? I'll tell you in a minute here.
Sechrist grounds to short. No chance for Deming to score. Good job by Clark on the 1 hop. Throws over to first for out number 2. So they bring in the infield in. Pretty wise move this time for the Falcons. 2 down.
That quick stat on him, he's 5'8". So it was the first hit by a Toronto pitcher under 5'8" in her first home run. And the first guy to hit it in America, the only other pitcher for Toronto, hit it in Toronto. Go figure. There's so many stats. I'm lost.
I love it. You know, in Toronto playing in the American League, Mike, had they not started the league, the crossing, you know, all growing up, American leaguers only played American leaguers and vice versa with the National Leaguers. But now that they've got the cross league games, it makes that possible. There's a called strike on Baker. Baker popped out, doubled and singled. He's got a couple of ribs and has scored a run. He can pick one up here with a base hit.
Yep. 2 out, but looking for more.
Ball in the dirt, and again a nice block by McElprang. Count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, rolled away from him, but not near far enough. And why run yourself out of an inning there?
A couple of years ago, they switched the Houston Astros from National League to American League. That was hard for me because I'm an Astros fan.
You're a Stros fan,
and I've been a National League guy my whole life. Baker, right side, ground ball, second baseman, nice diving stop over to first, in time to retire the side. Nice effort by Joey Lambeth to keep a run off the board. We played 5 complete from the 3A elimination bracket, and it's 12-6 Snow Canyon. All right, we can close the book on Matt Kitchen in this game. Kitchen went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 6 runs, but only 3 of those were earned runs. He had 3 walks in the game, threw 108 pitches for the Snow Canyon Warriors. And Mike, guy gives up 6 runs. You kind of feel like you're going to be behind after 5 innings, but Kitchen did what they needed. He burned up 5 big innings here in the losers bracket and kept them relatively down so that they can have a lead late.
Yeah, he gave up, you mentioned the 6 runs. That was 2 innings. He's got 3 goose eggs on the scoreboard up there with nothing scored in the 2nd, 4th, and the 5th. And a great opportunity, I think, for Thorpe. Thorpe's a big kid, about 6'1". He is a senior this year as he steps to the mound.
Very limited pitching action this year for Thorpe. I have him, Mike, for 3 appearances, 4 innings. And in those 4 innings, he's given up 7 hits, 3 walks, hit a couple of guys. He has 3 strikeouts and 5 earned runs. His ERA is at 8.75. And honestly, that's just a little more than a run a game. And if he can just give up just a little more than a run a game, they'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Or an inning, I mean, a little more than a run an inning. And if they can do that, they'll be tickled.
Yeah.
Immediately, though, it evens the count at 1-1.
Gotchis has a triple and 2 singles. He's 3 for 3.
Yeah, he's having a whale of a day, isn't he?
He is indeed. Scored a run.
Swings and misses is that one. Nice change of speed by Brenton Thorpe.
New pitcher, different look. And this guy, again, he's kind of a tall drink of water out there.
By the way, the scorer on Game Changer, and I'm not sure, well, I do know who it is. It's Curtis Langston. Actually has him 2 for 3. They're calling one of those an error. On Gotchas. In my book, I'm with you. I have 3 base hits, and I'm sure Jed Nielsen down the lane, the official score for UHSAA, probably has something completely different than we do. Pop up. Gates will chase it back toward the fence and makes the catch in front of that big old concrete wall for out number 1. So they get Gotchas out for the first time today.
Good job. And again, I credit the catchers. That's a different field coming into a park like this. But he got the mask off quickly, spotted the ball, knew where he was at, got the catch.
That is a great point in that almost any ballpark, not almost, any ballpark in Region 9, that ball's out of play.
Yeah.
And it would have been easy for Gates to say, well, it's out of play. But he did his homework. He knows, all right, I got a lot of foul ground over here, and I can't let those pop-ups give up. He went all the way back and just in front of the fence, the wall there, made the catch. Real quickly, 2-0, though, on Caden Clark.
Clark has 1 hit in his 3 trips to the plate with the ground out and a strikeout.
Right-handed hitter against the right-handed Brenton Thorpe. And there's right down the middle. So 2-1.
Yeah, pretty good job on that pitch. It's almost like Clark saying, I bet you can't throw a strike.
Yeah, 2-0. He was gonna make him prove it.
He did.
Burden of proof's on you, pitcher, and he proved it. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball left side, foul. Gubler chases it down in foul territory. Count 2-2.
Yeah, that was a couple of feet outside the third base line over there. So, but now 2-2, 1 down, nobody on base.
This one hit high in the air in shallow right field. And the right fielder comes in, and Baker makes the grab behind the second baseman, Sechrist, and there is 2 down.
I kind of got the feeling on that one that Baker called him off because he was going back. All of a sudden he ducks and steps up, but Baker had it in control.
You say, well, that's easy. That's basic baseball. But how many times have we seen fielders both going for the catch, even though one of them's calling the other one off? Maybe they're both calling at the same time. But good communication there by the outfield and infield. And generally speaking, you know, the rule is if the outfielder can get it, because he doesn't have to run backwards, he can run up and see the ball the whole time. You should let him get it anyway if he can.
Right.
1-0 count right now to the batter, and this one is hit hard to left, but in the air and playable in front of the track. Rigby makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brenton Thorpe. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
For Snow Canyon, and that's 3 consecutive zeros. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 12-6. Snow Canyon on top.
No runners left on base.
Welcome back in Orem, Utah. Of course, we have a really good view of the on-ramp here to the freeway and the University Parkway, which is, arguably the busiest road in Utah. About 8 lanes, and they're expanding, by the way, as Mike mentioned. Construction all over the place here.
Yeah, busy out there. It's one of those that you look at and go, how come everybody in that parking lot's moving? It kind of looks like a parking lot. It's that
I went over and
busy.
had dinner with my son in Provo yesterday, and driving back on the parkway. You made a joke about construction, but it is torn up from University Ave all the way into Orem in the mall. And that's some harrowing driving with all the cones and the crazy people.
Just reminds me, we're both from St. George, and that's kind of why I like being down there.
Yeah. Nowatzki swinging, hits the ball to left field. That's going to be a base hit. He'll cruise around second and stop there. A fair ball right down the line, and Nowatzki with a solid double. That is his second hit of the game.
Yep, he has a single, and he had 2, a pop and a ground out to short. Now he's kind of finding his groove here with back-to-back hits. And I made a comment a moment ago that Snow Canyon has scored 30 runs against Canyon View, and Andy says so far.
So far, yeah. that was my comment. Now runner at second, and the batter is Stephen Gubler. Gubler's been kind of hot and cold since he's been called into the lineup as he fouls that first pitch off. I think he had a 3-for-4 game or something a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Had a couple of hits last week, but
today officially 0-for-2, but he did reach on an error.
Reaches and pokes that one to the right side. First baseman has room, makes a little football one-handed catch. The runner at second tag, and Nowatzki heads up base running. First baseman thought it was just a simple pop out. And Nowatzki says, well, if you're going to turn your back to me, I'm going to take off. Nice little tag up by Zach Nowatzki.
Yeah, the rule, of course, is that it's a live ball. Once it's caught, the runner can advance at their own risk. That time he looked up and says, hey, I'm on my way. Now he stands 90 feet away.
Ground ball. Nicely handled by Clark as they bring the infield in, and that'll keep the run from scoring. 6-3. They did bring that infield in. It was a one-hopper to Clark. And was that Thorpe, by the way, that batted Mike? I think it was 11.
Yeah, that's Thorpe.
Okay.
Yep.
So Brenton gets the bat, and I'm wondering if he even has an at-bat this year. Batter now is Caleb Gates, the catcher. He's got a couple of hits. Well, he's gotten hit, and he got a hit.
Right.
How about that?
There you go.
With the runner still at third and 2 down. And that ball gets away from the catcher. Nowatzki is going to come home and score. They do throw over, but not nearly in time. So the wild pitch makes it a 13-6 game. Mike, if they'd only make their extra points, we'd have a different game, right?
Yeah. You got to start hitting that point after here.
Brenton Thorpe, before that at bat, had 2 this season. He was 0 for 2 on the year. So there you go. Ground ball up the middle, and Gates with a solid single right at the pitcher's feet and through into the center field. And Gates, now who's going to run for him? Smith? I guess it can't be Smith because Smith will be batting.
Yeah, it's Sampson. Brooke Sampson, once again, for the second time, will be the speed-up runner out there. 13-6 in favor of the Snow Canyon Warriors. Here we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And coming up next, Pineview, Juan Diego.
Now we looks like we're probably going to have a game this evening as well after the semifinal game between Dixie and Park City. The winner of these 2 elimination games plays tonight, and it looks like it's going to be Snow Canyon.
Yep.
As they have a 7-run lead. There's a called strike on Seth Smith. Smith hasn't hit a lot this year. I think he had 2 at-bats this season before today, but he's scored a whole bunch of runs. 18 runs and stolen 15 bases. So he fouls that one off.
Yeah, strike 2 count now on Smith. Smith, after speed-up running earlier, came in and replaced Jamison Day.
Which we're not sure what happened to him, but it was a weird place to take him out. So we're thinking there might have been a little tweak of an injury or something. I hope not.
Yeah, or protection or something.
And we'll stay with our TV audience. We have been cut off on the radio. Hopefully we can reestablish that connection. But I'll keep going here as Smith fouls another ball off. Seth Smith with a runner at first and 2 down. 13-6 Snow Canyon. Rigby and Deming due up next if the Warriors can get there. Not likely to have a bottom of the 7th unless Canyonview makes a major rally. Throw over to first, not in time. Now they'll go back to the plate. Smith having to battle now out of an 0-2 hole if he can. And they do pitch out, but it's called strike 3, so the base would have been stolen by Sampson. Doesn't matter as Seth Smith goes down looking for out number 3, and that will retire the side. We'll take a break here. 13-6 Snow Canyon, 7th inning coming up.
Snow Canyon in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors. 1 runner left on base. 6 complete innings of play. Snow Canyon 13.
Hello.
6.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, we're in, if you want to play another 30-second commercial, we're in break right now, so.
All right, thanks.
We're back here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Sorry to the radio audience, we missed the end of that inning, but the Snow Canyon Warriors did get 1 run in the bottom of the 6th, and that was Zach Nowoski coming home on a wild pitch. Caleb Gates got a base hit, but then Seth Smith struck out to end the inning, and so we set at 13-6 as we head to the 7th inning. Snow Canyon now pitching Brenton Thorpe, and he's done a pretty good job, Mike. He's pitched a 1 inning, no hits, no walks, and that's something every coach hopes for.
Yep, got him to actually put it in the air 3 times, a pop up to the catcher, and then a fly out left and a fly out right.
Falcons trying not to end their season here. I noticed Coach Jacobson brought the whole team together for a little conference there between innings. Kind of a goodbye speech, or hey, let's get out there and go. If we go down, we go down swinging. First pitch, and maybe literally and figuratively, first pitch to Joey McElprang is a called strike. 0-1 now from Thorpe. That one high and tight for ball 1.
McElprang, Harden, Ecker. That's the three scheduled batters here in the top of the 7th inning.
Our look ahead again brought to you by Ron Shell Station. Pineview coming up in about a half an hour. We'll take on Juan Diego in an elimination game. And that one just misses. 2-1 now. At 4:30 today, here on ESPN Radio, we'll have the semifinal of the 3A state championships, Dixie and Park City. Oh, that one got him right in the helmet. That's why you wear helmets, folks. I think that hurt, but not seriously at all. And that actually looked like a changeup or a breaking ball. So the free bag the hard way for McElprang. They'll run for him, I would assume, here in a second.
They'll let him, at the very least, walk it off out there.
Yeah, clean off the plate, do a little walking around. Kitchen threw 108 pitches, did exactly what they needed. He gave a few runs, but he kept them in the game until their offense could get rolling. Thorpe now an inning plus, also doing his job. And actually, Thorpe could get through this inning without throwing 20 pitches, Mike. He could actually, contribute tomorrow. We found out, like I said earlier, Jeff Clough, the head of officials for the UHSAA, came and said you can pitch more than once in a day as long as you don't go over the pitch count. So it's just like pitching in the same game.
By the way, they did get a speed-up runner. Number 22, Colton Shumway, is in the game there at first base now.
First ball low for Trace Harden. He's hit the ball pretty hard a couple of times. He reached on an error and singled. Now, obviously, Canyon View needs a monster rally. We're in the top of the 7th. They're down by 7, but this is how you do it. You get guys on however you can. Thorpe with the bender drops in nicely. The count is 1-1 to Harden.
Nice looking pitch that time. Yeah, that's a great point, Andy. You think, okay, they've been playing well. They got a good sized lead. Don't open the door at the very least. Quick
throw over, just checking the runner. I think Canyon View would be crazy to run in this situation. You do not want to risk giving up any kind of out on the base pass with nobody down, and you're down by 7 runs.
Shumway at the lead, but it's a very short lead.
Another breaking ball. This one hit into the air on the right side. Could be a little bit of trouble. Coming hard is Baker, and he'll make the catch in between a second baseman and center fielder for the first out.
Once again, got to assume he took over. There was 3 that maybe could have gotten there. I agree, though. I think that the right fielder had the best and easiest track to haul it in.
And of those 3 guys, Baker is the regular. He's been starting in right field most of the season.